This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center has been found liable for medical malpractice. A jury in Bangor reaching this verdict just over an hour ago. Our Doug Banks has details from the courtroom.
We're going to have to decide for human damages. How much is in that briefcase?
A jury inside Penobscot County Judicial Center on Friday found Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center liable for medical malpractice. Frenchville resident Louise Brown will receive $2.4 million in damages, almost double the $1.4 million she was seeking. This verdict stems from an incident taking place on February of 2019, while Brown was having endoscopic surgery for abdominal pain. While Brown was under anesthesia, her arm was crushed between a table and the base of a machine in the operating room. Her attorneys claim she sustained chronic regional pain syndrome as a result. Preceding the liable verdict, attorneys representing Northern Light showed jurors medical records refuting Brown's claim of suffering from CRPS, but stated for the duration of the trial, they've never brought forth any notion to the jurors the hospital is not at fault for the 2019 incident.
Did the hospital commit medical negligence, and did it cause injury to Ms. Brown? I'm telling you right now, you should check that box off yes, because they did.
Brown's attorney Taylor Asson had this to say to the jury during closing arguments.
The way that they could prove that Louise Brown doesn't have complex regional pain syndrome is to hire a reliable expert to evaluate it. That's what they could have done. That's what they should have done. And they didn't, and I think you know why.
In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The U.S. Supreme Court may have overturned state decisions to keep former President Trump off of primary ballots, but that doesn't mean his court case in Maine has ended. After the Supreme Court's Anderson decision, Secretary of State Shenna Bellows modified her December 28th decision by withdrawing a section to clarify that Maine could not enforce the insurrection clause against a presidential candidate. However, Bellows did not withdraw her entire opinion, which did find that Trump incited the January 6th riots and was an insurrectionist. Lawyers for Trump filed a March 8th complaint in Kennebec County Superior Court, claiming Trump is aggrieved by the decision, quote, because it continues to improperly impugn his reputation by branding him as an insurrectionist. Bellows responded to Trump's attorneys by writing, quote, the primary election has passed and Mr. Trump's votes were counted such that any objection to my decision is at this stage moot, end quote. A tractor trailer flipped over in Ellsworth along Route 179 just before noon today. Ellsworth Fire Captain Kenny Lemoyne says the truck rolled on its side along the bend of Patriot Road at North Street. No one was injured. He says a small amount of engine oil did spill, which prompted the Department of Environmental Protection to perform an assessment. Officials say speed did not appear to be a factor. A witness who watched the vehicle roll over telling police they said the truck was abiding by the speed limit. The road was shut down to one lane for much of the afternoon. A lawsuit accuses the founder of Special Olympics Maine of grooming a 9-year-old boy for sexual abuse that spanned 2 decades. The suit claims Mickey Boutillier encouraged the victim to accompany him on business trips and provided him with employment. It also claims the victim was threatened to keep quiet. Special Olympics International and Special Olympics Maine said officials were, quote, shocked and saddened by the claims and that a violation of trust by anyone involved in the organization tears at the fabric of the movement. They say the allegations of abuse by Boutillier are being investigated. Boutillier died in 2012. Augusta has a new police chief, but he's not a new face to the community. Kevin Lully was appointed as the new chief of police to replace Jared Mills, who retired last November. Chief Lully has been with the department for 28 years and says he's excited to continue his work, or the work of his predecessor.
I like to think we're doing things kind of well, so there's not going to be a lot of change. I'm very fortunate the chiefs that worked before me, Chief McCamish, Chief Gregoire, Chief Mills, all really worked hard and diligent to guide our department to where it is today. There's little changes that always take place with administrations. We're not looking for any vast changes. I like to think we're very in tune with our community. We work on a variety of different committees, organizations, associations, and groups. So that's one of the real true strengths that we have is our community involvement.
Chief Lully adds the entire Augusta Police Department is excited about moving into its new building and will be holding a ribbon cutting for that next week. Vietnam veterans were honored for their service at the State House today. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard was at the ceremony and has more.
Vietnam veterans are the only veterans who ever returned home after a conflict and were treated poorly.
Across the country, ceremonies to honor Vietnam veterans are taking place, including here in Maine.
We do it each year on March 29th, which is the anniversary of the last day that troops were in Vietnam. So that was 51 years ago.
Gary Crocker is a U.S. Navy veteran who served in Vietnam. He says Vietnam-era veterans didn't feel their service and sacrifice were honored when they returned home, which is why it means so much to him for Vietnam veterans to be recognized on Vietnam Veterans Day.
It means more than I ever thought it would mean to me to be recognized as a veteran who committed himself, because when a veteran signs up and raises his hand, and you know this as an Army veteran, you have made the ultimate commitment. You don't know where you're going, or what you're going to do, and you know it could be very rough.
Brigadier General Diane Dunn, the Adjutant General of the Maine National Guard, spoke about the challenges Vietnam veterans faced during their service.
During your service, you were asked to do more with less, to improvise and adapt in the face of incredible adversity. But through it all, you endured. You upheld the values that make our country great.
Crocker adds many Vietnam vets still haven't joined veteran service organizations like the American Legion or VFW, and says more work is being done to heal the wounds our country faced during its difficult time.
Vietnam was a difficult time in our country's life, not just my life, or not just the Vietnam veterans' life. It was a difficult time. And you know, I'm actually thankful for the people who stood up and said, this is wrong.
At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Just so important to honor all of our veterans and thank them for their service. All right, looking outdoors today, things still very wet and dreary out there. Hopefully some better things to come. Let's take a break now and turn things over to Conrad Sapinski with the first check.
And thank you so much. And what a mess we got going on. Rain and snow all over the region. Greenville, though, they've been getting some snow pretty much since the morning hours. So a consistent day of snow here in town, though. A little bit of that rain and snow. Of course, we're on that battle grounds. Visibility-wise, though, we are a bit low. Not quite very low like what we saw yesterday, but still 8 miles here in town, right at the coast as well, Bar Harbor, and then right down into Machias area. We are looking at lower visibility. Millinocket area, even less. Same story into Greenville, where some places have 4, 5, even 6 miles of visibility. Earlier today, though, temperatures around 41 like we were thinking here in town. Some mid-40s right by the coast. So Rockland, Bar Harbor, right up into Machias, and then 30s, actually, as high temperatures by Greenville. They've been getting a consistent snow, so they were sticking around in those mid-30s throughout the day today. Now, overnight tonight, though, we're going to continue to see that rain and snow. Temperatures cooling off, hovering near freezing.
Alrighty, Conrad, thank you. And coming up, we'll tell you how one local town is gearing up for the total solar eclipse. Stay with us.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Wow.
Nice.
Thanks, bud.
You could get the lowest ever 1.99% financing on most Tundra hybrid and gas models. Toyota, let's go places.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Singing teapots, dancing candlesticks, a princess, and of course, the Beast make up the beloved tale of Beauty and the Beast. This lively one-hour musical springs to life on the Gracie stage Saturday, April 6th. Will Belle break the spell before the last rose petal falls? Find out in the Panto Company's production of Beauty and the Beast at the Gracie Theater Saturday, April 6th, with 2 shows at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. For tickets, call 941-7888 or go to gracietheater.com.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Call the 2. We win for you.
As winter fades and the weather warms, you might not be ready to think about air conditioning, but Valley Home Services is ready because now is the perfect time to beat the heat. Fujitsu heat pumps from Valley Home Services are not only great sources for heat in the colder months, they're also fantastic air conditioners for the hotter months. And right now is the best time to install a Fujitsu heat pump so you can take advantage of the efficiency for what heating is left and get a jump on the cooling for the summer. Embrace the comfort with Fujitsu and Valley Home Services.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. Tens of thousands of visitors are expected to flock to locations along the path of totality for the upcoming solar eclipse. And one Piscataquis County town is concerned about the vehicles that'll be coming along. Our David Ledford has more.
We don't know what we're expecting.
Towns are making their final preparations as the total solar eclipse inches closer, making calls, planning events, and taking safety precautions.
These aren't a joke. You have to wear these.
But one issue is still causing concern for some in Dover-Foxcroft ahead of the big day.
Traffic, lots of traffic that we're not used to up in these rural parts of Maine.
And officials are urging people passing through on April 8th to stick to the roadways.
There's going to be heavy traffic and people are going to be anxious to get places, and we're in mud season up here. Dirt roads and back areas are really soft. We don't want people traveling on, open fields and railroad beds where they might become stuck or stranded. There's open water, so obviously stay off any ice that you may see. Stay off it.
To help with the congestion, the town is directing visitors to different viewing locations throughout the area.
The viewing areas is our attempt to take whatever public land we have and private land we have where the owners are willing and say, hey, you're welcome to come here and park your car and view. That's the best that we can do with what we have available to us.
Officials are also stressing the importance of planning ahead.
Leave early. For sure. Don't think you're going to leave, the morning of and get here on time. It's probably not going to happen.
For a full list of viewing locations in the region and parking information, visit piscataquischamber.com. In Dover-Foxcroft, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A building on Broadway in Bangor, now home to the International Cryptozoology Museum, has been added to the National Register of Historic Places. Michael Goebel-Bain, the state's National Register coordinator, says 490 Broadway was added to the list last week. Built in 1945, the building previously served as a bus garage and terminal for Hasty Main stages from 1945 to 1953. Afterwards, it was used by a few different businesses, including a dry cleaner and a used car lot. The property sat dormant until 2018 when it became a redemption center. Now the International Cryptozoology Museum calls it home. The building is the 32nd property in Bangor to be added to the list.
It's a more modern building than many that are on the register, particularly in the Bangor area. It does reflect a certain style of building. So, that's something that we would look at. What other examples of that style are there in that area locally?
The last property in Bangor to be added to the National Register of Historic Places was the Pierce Building at 29 Franklin Street that was added in January of 2023. Coming up in sports, Maine hockey may have lost in the NCAAs last night, but the team is hopeful for the future. We'll hear from them after the break.
So we've lived in this house coming up 23 years. We just bought the tractor, and I haven't any idea how we survived without it.
We're trying to rebuild the rock wall on this new property. She says, pick that rock up and put it here. No, it'll look better if you turn it this way. No, we're gonna need to move it over there 5 feet.
I would come to him and say, can you do this for me? And he'd kind of, do the, ugh. But now he has a tractor. He's much more motivated.
Experience United, your local John Deere dealer.
Hi, I'm Barry Gass, and my grandfather started Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear right here in Orono in 1911.
Just after World War II, my father ran the business for decades. Now, with my wife and wonderful staff, we are continuing the tradition of bringing the American West to Maine. Our authentic Western boots are handcrafted for comfort, style, work, and casual wear. Saddle up with our premium selection of top quality saddles. Top it off with the perfect hat from classic to modern ranch. Gas War Supply and Western Wear in Orono, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor. Sign up for You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Pick who you think is going to win and compete against other fans for prizes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Last night wasn't the ending to the season that Maine hockey wanted, but what a year 3 it was for Ben Barr in Orono. Despite falling to Cornell in the first round of the NCAA tournament, Maine had a great year by all measures. Picked 9th in the Hockey East preseason poll, the Black Bears finished 3rd in the conference, punched a ticket to the Garden with a playoff win over New Hampshire, and spent most of the season ranked inside the top 10 in the nation. So while the loss stings, Coach Ben Barr says he's still proud of everything the team did this season.
You know, these guys worked extremely hard and put our program back on the map again in the course of the last 3 years. But when you lose a game that was there for you and it ends your season, it really hurts, and that's the growth we'll have to take with us.
So with the offseason starting today, the question becomes, what's next? Maine could return their whole roster besides assistant captain Ben Poisson, and when Captain David Brazil was asked post-game about what's next, he said they just have to keep doing what they've been doing.
Obviously, we're looking for a different result, but I think just going forward, it's continuing to grow our culture, continue to have 20, 25 capable players on the ice. You see what it takes to win a championship, and it's obviously exciting that we're here, and now the next step for us is moving forward is going to be getting past this first round. That's going to be our goal.
Okay, now let's shift to the baseball diamond. Bangor High School baseball were A North finalists last season. As the 7th seed, they're looking to show everyone this year they are no Cinderella. While the Rams lost their ace on the mound and batter's box in Matt Holmes, plus other starting pitcher Wyatt Stevens, they lost just one other senior. Plenty of experience out there this year, especially from a team that fielded 9 freshmen and sophomores in 2023. With a more seasoned batting lineup, it could be just what they need to make another run to the postseason.
We were young. We just needed repetitions, and that really showed starting from a 7 seed. And then as we made it to playoffs, we became better and more experienced.
I mean, we struck out 111 times last year. That can't happen this year. We had a lot of young guys for sure, so we'll have a lot more at-bats. Be able to strike out less and put the ball in play more for sure.
Having that experience, know how games will run, know the competition, those things I think are some strengths that we have.
And this Rams team is hungry, making the regional final the last 3 years, but not being able to take home that Class A state title. With 14 state titles since 1970, this team has a rep to protect. And with that talent and desire, who says that Cinderella can't dance again all the way to the golden ball or golden glove?
I mean, this year is technically my final year, yeah, but we've treated every year like this year. Our main goal is a state championship, and that's what we're going to shoot for every single year.
This is what I came here for. This is what me and Chuck have wanted all along. I think everyone knows Bangor has that reputation, so just to be able to fulfill that will be nice for sure.
All right, that's all the time we have for sports. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you very much. Our Maine weather is brought to you by Varney Ford. Varney Ford in Newport gives one full year maintenance on every new and used vehicle they sell. Come visit them and see their huge selection of cars and trucks, the nice car and truck people. And what a big, big mess we got going on, right? The last couple of days, we've been getting that snow, and now today, a little bit cooler air rolling in. That's why some snow is starting to show up, but still close to the Boston area. We are looking at still a couple of showers, but here in town, of course, those cooler temperatures are making their way into our region from the north, and that rain is starting to mix and transition into a little bit of snow. Look at these darker blue colors indicating some moderate to heavy banding of snow. You see that right here? That is some 1 inch plus per hour snowfall rates. The ground is still wet. The snow is very wet and heavy, so it's going to take a little bit for it to accumulate, but still a little bit of accumulations are very likely by tomorrow morning. So on this back end, cooler temperatures, they're just going to continue to cool off, and we're going to see just a little bit of accumulations, maybe a solid 1 to 3 additional inches before all said and done. By tomorrow, let's say noon, right? By the afternoon hours, we're going to see an abundant amount of sunshine, and then we're looking pretty good for Easter as well. Winter weather advisories have been issued in the Millinocket area, in the north of that, all the way up into Caribou until 9 a.m. on Saturday. Gale warnings have been issued as well, and flood watches are still in effect here in town and by Bar Harbor. It is very windy. Look at this. 23 mile per hour sustained winds in town, 18 by Bar Harbor. Machias is at 13. Look at Greenville, though. 22 mile per hour sustained winds with wind gusts around 40. That's going to continue overnight tonight, and then into the day tomorrow. We're going to continue to see some gusty winds. By tomorrow night, though, into Sunday, much better conditions. We're going to be clearing up and just a light breeze in the region. Temperature-wise, though, we've been cool. The last 9 days, temperatures in the 30s and the 20s, right? It's feeling like winter, even though it's spring, right? Unbelievable, right? Right when we're actually in spring, Mother Nature's like, nope, 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 not today. We're going to be back into winter temperatures. Of course, snow is back in our region. Our average high is 45, so we're going to stay below that for today, of course. Near average the next couple of days. Monday, maybe a couple of degrees above average, and then right back to cooler than average temperatures, mainly Wednesday into Thursday as another big low-pressure system moves into the area. Tonight, though, 31 degrees. Rain and snow will be in the area. It's going to stay windy as well, blowing some of that rain and snow around. We're talking accumulation-wise, possibly 1 to 3 inches by tomorrow morning. And then we're going to melt most of that away by tomorrow. Mid-40s, a couple of snow showers will be possible in the morning hours, and then an abundant amount of sunshine. Our extended forecast outlook does show a good-looking Easter. Same story into Monday and Tuesday.
All right, love to see that sunshine in the forecast. Thank you, and we'll be right back after the break.
CEM DP Porter Contractors have been in business for more than 40 years. We have recently added an electrical division to further be of service to our loyal customers. CEM specializes in design build for commercial and residential projects. Whether you need help with older construction, new build-outs, or electrical services, CEM has you covered. CEM is currently hiring for all positions. We offer competitive pay as well as great benefits. To inquire about employment or construction, please reach out to 848-7486 or visit CEMMaine.com.
Do you have a wet basement, nasty crawl space, settling foundation, sinking concrete, or clogged gutters? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basement-y. For over 30 years, thousands of homeowners throughout Maine and southeastern New Hampshire have trusted TC Hafford. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, stabilizing foundations, concrete leveling, and gutter installation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basement-y.
Dear Savvy Traveler, airline food isn't what it used to be. I need to fuel up before I fly.
Dear Hangry, you can fill up before takeoff at Bangor International Airport. The Highlands Cafe has quick and casual. The Refueler Pub and Grill has heartier fare. And the Post Security Cafe, other side of TSA, offers a pick-me-up before wheels up. Bon appetit and bon voyage, Hangry. And remember, the savvy travel through Bangor International Airport. Flybangor.com.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150, and Ford Super Duty the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Now get 1.9% APR for 72 months on a 2023 Ford F-150 only at your New England Ford dealers.
Welcome back. If you've ever been to Bangor Brewer bowling lanes, you might have noticed a pair of guys that seem to be there almost every day. Our Devin Dagnall was there to talk with them in the latest edition of Destination Devon.
That's how we get by.
Meet your new favorite dynamic duo, Ron and Rob Carter, a pair of twins who are as inseparable as they are identical.
We're hooked at the hip, you might as well say.
The pair has been knocking pins since the 1960s when they were seniors at Brewer High School, making their way through an especially lax week of testing.
If we didn't have a class or a test, we'd walk down and bowl a little bit.
After that first stint, the twins bowled fairly often, but not every day, for about a decade. In the 1980s, Ron and Rob received some life-changing news. They were both diagnosed with hereditary spastic paraplegia, a general term for a group of rare inherited disorders that cause weakness and stiffness in the leg muscles. It wasn't long before the pair needed to retire from their work due to their condition, but through it all, and ever since, they've stuck with their favorite pastime to keep them active.
And then we decided that we're going to try to bowl every day of the year.
Best part of all, it's doctor's orders.
Neurologist we had said, keep it up, don't stop moving. It's the best thing you can do. 22 years, we were averaging 350 days a year.
Their routine isn't as rigid as it once was, but the twins still bowl for a couple hours at least 3 times a week, if not more. So if you're ever in need of a little R&R, as in Ron and Rob, stop by the Bangor Brewer lanes in the morning and you'll probably run into them. But be warned, even though they're 78, they're as competitive as ever. In Brewer, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Just a great story there. Members of the Bangor City Council gathered at the Bangor Public Library to kick off the first Coffee with the Councilors event. Members of the community were invited to grab a cup of coffee and discuss any issues or concerns they might have with city councilors. The event ran today from noon to 1. City Council Chair Cara Pelletier says it's a way for councilors to hear different perspectives from people in an informal setting. Coffee with the Councilors is planned to be held every 6 to 8 weeks at different locations around the city. The city will publicize these dates and times when they are confirmed. A surprise donation was given to the Maine Veterans Project this morning. Holden Police hosted Coffee with a Cop at the G&M Market Friday morning in conjunction with Maine Veterans Project. The get-together allowed the general public to meet and chat with those serving their community and those who serve their country.
We are public servants, so we're here to serve our public, and being out here, it helps us so people can see us as humans, as normal person. They can come here, have a cup of coffee for us, and we have some good conversation, we have a good laugh, and everybody leaves there happy, in a good mood, to start the day.
So that $3,000 is going to fill a void that was taken by heating fuel season, which is going to allow us to finish heating fuel season strong and move into summer recreation flawlessly.
As a complete surprise to the Maine Veterans Project, President Doc Goodwin was presented a $3,000 check funded by G&M Market, 25 Days of Kindness, and Maine Military Supply. And following the get-together, Brothers Cannabis also pledged an additional $1,000, bringing the grand total to $4,000 for Maine Veterans Project. Just a great effort there, and an organization that could really use the money. We just spoke to them recently. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. That's going to do it for us, and hope you have a great rest of your evening and a wonderful weekend ahead.